Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizano. You are listening to another episode of the world famous, the University Love, the best podcast in one, two, three galaxies. But ladies and gentlemen, you and I, we just call this show Online Marketing Moves. And we are coming to you live today. We are back. It is Monday, July the 8th, 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? I know it's been a long time. Ladies and gents, me, my wife, and my daughter, we went to the beach last week. Had such a lovely time. And then we had a 4th of July party right here at the house, a nice pool party. A lot of people came over, did a lot of work. And then it got to be, you know, Thursday, Friday. I said, I'm going to give the people a break and I'm going to take a break. I'll just take the rest of the week off. How about that? And so we are back today. We're recording the episode. And today we're going to talk about something very important. Today we are going to talk about the titles of places, titles of things, titles of your website. I was driving today. I was going past this store. It's the coffee place. And I'll give you the name of the coffee place. And you let me know if you think it's dumb, a dumb name or a good name. It was called the Human Bean. The Human Bean. I chuckled a little bit myself. I thought, that's kind of cool. If I drunk coffee, I would stop in the Human Bean. Okay? A play on words. I'm always a fan of that. And I thought, is that a good name or a bad name? Will you remember that? I will remember that name. But would you remember that name? The Human Bean. And I also noticed something today. You know, I was driving past this barbershop, and I forget the name of the barbershop, but it had a Z at the end. And I go, it's a lot of barbershops with the Z at the end. Like Mighty Cuts, something, like hairstyles with a Z. I'm like, are barbershops in love with the letter Z at the end of it, or do they pay somebody and they tell them, hey, you should put a Z at the end of your at your barbershop. That's a good idea. You know, I remember I used to go to this place called Goodfellas. I think they had a Z, and so I just thought to myself, is there something? What's in a name? If you think, how now you go to Google and you type in Apple, and before even the fruit pops up, Apple, the iPhone, the Apple products, sort of pops up, and so sometimes you can use a name like that, and you can take it over, or you come up with a clever name like the Human Bean, but you want your title to stand out. You always want your headline to stand out. And the reason why you want your headline to stand out is because you want people to go on to the next thing. The one thing, it's like if you ever have a conversation on the phone and you're talking to somebody, you learn. I've learned from years of driving. You gotta entertain people on the phone. You want people to laugh. You want to keep them engaged. And so when you're telling the story, when the hit points, the inflections, what to do. But it starts off with the headline. You have a great headline, or if you have a great title like the Human Bean, okay, you work your way from there, and then you go dot dot dot. But grab their attention first. Title. It's like being a rapper. I don't know if you know this or not, but when I used to listen to rap back in the '90s, everybody was a little Bow Wow, Lil Kim, Lil Zane, Lil Flip, little this, little that, Lil. Everybody was LIL. Okay, I, I don't know if they still go. I don't know if they still. I'm pretty sure they don't use that anymore. Now it's whatever, popping pills 2024, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, when for some reason, if a title works for somebody, you always see other people copying. You don't want to be the person copying. Okay, you want to have a little originality. That's now, as I told you before, the wheel's already been invented. What kind of hubcap you want on there? You want spokes, you want spikes. What do you want? The wheel's already there, but you want a different. And so, if you open up a coffee shop, don't use human beings with a Z. Okay, you'll be a little unoriginal. Now, this coffee shop is in Atlanta. I think it's in Roswell, Georgia. And so, if you want, and if you live in Huntington Beach, California, or if you live in Queensland, Australia, if you live in, London, England, if you live in, you know, Portugal, and if you want to use the human being, then you can. But if it's a big old franchise, like McDonald's, you don't want to go, let me use McDowell's, okay? You don't want that. And so always be thinking, always be looking, always be studying headlines or titles. If you want to store a website, don't get too cute. Sometimes some things you want to get straight to the point. Some things you can play on words, but you want to make sure that it is something that is going to be memorable. It is something that you can use. It's something that can be short to the point. It is something that people can say, boom. I recognize. I know what the human being is now. When I'm driving, if I'm driving that in that area, I'll look to my left, and I go, "Hey, it's the human being." And I will have a chuckle. And one day I'm gonna take my wife and I'm gonna drive her over there because she likes to drink coffee every now and then. And I'm gonna drive her over, and we're gonna check out the human being because I think that's a cool title. And so for you, you want to have your titles, your website titles, your everything, your titles of your emails, the titles of your YouTube episodes, titles of your podcast. You want to have them to where people are like, "Ooh, let me check out what this is." Okay? And the more you do that, the better off you will be. The more you do that, the faster you can get down the road. Because sometimes people skim through things, and so they read the headline, and sometimes they go right to the end and read the last thing, and they're like, "Oh, I read that article." So you want to make sure you always making sure that you have great headlines, you have great titles to your products, to your services. Okay, and so, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, that is it. We'll be back tomorrow with all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, my name is Tony Rizano. Thank you for listening. God bless. Welcome back, everybody. And as always, everybody, peace. The human